Hello, it's me. Again, you don't know me, I know, and I honestly forgot that I had this channel, but I'm here now, and you are.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I just wanted to share my art journey with you, really. So, to introduce myself, I'm Tony. My online handle is raccooninadumpster. I don't know why I chose that name, and all the other ones I wanted it to change to are already taken. I'm nearly 20 years old. I'm getting old. And I'm a self-taught artist since the pandemic. You know, the time where everybody started to pick up hobbies again. So, I just want to share my art journey with you. Maybe you could learn some things. Or, I don't know. Maybe I just want to look back on that video in like 2 years and laugh about it. I have no clue. But I just wanted to make this video. So, I've always kind of drawn. That's the sentence every artist will tell you. Yeah, I don't know, I have sketches flying around from How to Train Your Dragon or other things I enjoyed back then, which were like horses and plushies. I have no clue. But I never took it serious. I never filled up a sketchbook, which I wish I did, because it could have saved me a lot of time now, but now we are here. But since 2020, I took it serious. I don't know what sparked my excitement for art, but if I need to put a finger on it, if that is a saying, maybe I was jealous. Jealous of the people who could create worlds, who are behind the shows that I'm watching and behind the games that I'm playing. And maybe that sparked it. I don't know, maybe. So, I picked up a pencil and started drawing whatever I wanted. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know where I was going or where I wanted to go. I was just drawing. I just drew and drew. And because there was no school, I drew every day. Or even multiple times a day. And I was just having fun creating. And I was thinking I was doing so good for someone who just picked up the hobby again. So I wanted to invest something into my art, like financially. I wanted to move digital. I wanted to start creating digital art. Because seeing all those beautiful pieces and knowing they were digital, that was my inspiration to move onto digital art. So I got an iPad 8, which I still use to this day. Maybe to explain why I got an iPad and not a drawing tablet or something cooler, was because I saw everybody using this app called Procreate, and Procreate is only available on iOS. So I got my first ever iOS device. And probably my last one. I hate iOS, okay? It took me 2 years to figure out how to do a screenshot on that thing. It was a magic apparition to me, which makes all of this funnier because I never ended up using Procreate. Why? Because it costs money. Don't get me wrong, Procreate is definitely worth its money, okay? It's a great program and many good and really aspiring artists use it. But I was young and I didn't want to spend anything that wasn't 100% necessary, so I remembered. I once drew on my phone when I was like 11. And what was that app called again? Ibis Paint X. The software that lags when the canvas is too big, but also the software that I fell in love with. So I moved digital, and it was like a new world has opened. All those options of which I didn't know what they did, the colors and the drawing without repercussions. So I fell in love with drawing again. I drew and drew and drew, and at some point I got bored again. I don't know if it was that school was starting again or that I was burnt out because of just how much I drew. But as you can see, I never really drew anything else in a headshot. Simply because I was scared. I didn't knew anything else and I didn't want to fail. But knowing now, failing is the most important thing in any journey you take upon yourself to do. And on the 19th of January 2022, I posted my last digital piece for the time. And on January the 3rd, I got Red Dead Redemption 2. Remember that will be important later. I thought maybe it was the medium again that I was using, so I moved back to traditional. I had this sketchbook flying around that I used back in 2020 when I was first getting started. I was watching many sketchbook tours at the time, and so I again got jealous. I wanted to have something like this. I wanted to create something what those people have. So I buried myself in the sketchbook and I was actually having fun again. Maybe it was also because I was taking a break from social media, but I didn't really do anything else again. You see, it's just drawing headshots. Maybe 1 or 2 upper bodies where I thought I was the shit. Yeah, so I didn't need to practice. Lol. But remember what I said earlier? about the game that I bought, Red Dead Redemption 2 took over my life. I love this game till this day. I even got it tattooed on my body forever. So me being a artist, I naturally wanted to draw fan out of it. And I got humbled. I got humbled bad. I didn't know how to draw humans in a somewhat realistic style. How would I have? I was just drawing anime-esque style, somewhat human things. But instead of giving up and thinking I was a failure, I saw an opportunity. I wrote a little note. An opportunity of getting better, of improving. So I set myself a goal. I wanted an art style in which you could tell the characters apart, and that's just not being from the hair. So I got a new sketchbook because the other one was full, and I got to work. And this drawing right here was the last drawing I ever did in my old style. After that, I practiced. I wanted to develop a new style. I wanted to find my style. And I really wanted to draw characters from Red Dead Redemption 2, but just because I fell in love with that game, and I still love it to this day. So I started to practice. Not really moving on from the head, but I practiced the other style I could draw in. Sometimes I would do some digital pieces, but they were really rare because I was focused on finding my style. I wanted to find my style. I wanted to find out how I wanted to be seen, how I wanted to see my art for myself. I don't know. And at some point I remembered I played games. After that, Red Dead Redemption 2. And styles they were in, the characters, how they were portrayed. You could tell the characters apart. So I got tired of traditional art again, naturally, and moved back to digital. But this time I never really moved back. I did studies of in-game characters, what set them apart from the other characters, how you could tell them apart. And I began to draw and draw and draw again, not stopping. I didn't really have a plan. I was just drawing, trying to combine everything into one piece. I never really did sketches, or I never really did studies of certain things. I would just implement the study in a finished illustration with lighting and coloring all in one piece because I don't have time. I had ups and downs, but that's just what an art journey will feel like, or any journey that you take on. Sometimes you will feel stuck, like nothing is moving forward, but the most important thing is to power through those moments. It's part of your journey. You might not like what you're doing right now, okay? You might think, what is this? But maybe take a step back and maybe have a look at some older works of yours and see where you started and where you are right now, and be proud of the past self for moving on and not giving up. Because if they would have given up at this point, you wouldn't be the artist you are right now. And that's where we are today. I found my style and I'm taking pride in my own work. I also know what I need to work on, and I'm also trying to get back into some traditional sketches because I really abandoned them, and now I feel like I can't draw because if I can't draw traditionally, then the program does everything for me, which is not true, obviously, but I have that. I'm in that headspace. And I don't seek validation from others. I seek validation from myself. As you can see, posting for 5 years and having 129 followers is not a great balance sheet. But I enjoy art, and that is what really matters.